Greetings and welcome back to KA Academy. Today we're gonna be demonstrating the example as we've alluded in the lesson number 7. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have this sensor, we'd have to scale it. We're gonna have our raw data and scale it into what we want to see, which is percentage. As you can see here, our set points, they're in percentage form. So at 20%, we'll be opening the actuator, and at 80% we'll be closing. Without any waste of time, let's dive into it. We're going to have to declare our variables. So we're going to declare our raw variable, which is our tank level, meaning the sensor as it comes into the channel. It will be coming in an integer form, and then we're gonna have to change that into a real number. And then we would have the scaled variable, which means the levels after it went through the scaling. And then we're gonna have a digital signal, which would be okay. Yes, this is gonna be a ball, and this is gonna be a ball. Digital signal to open and close, and then that's more of what we're gonna need, and a para which we're gonna add into the scaling block in a moment. That will be filling. We're gonna call it a filling example, and then we're gonna choose function blocks. Okay, now right click input. We're gonna, as we agreed, change the raw data that we're getting in from int to real. We're gonna make it a real number, and then we're gonna put it there, and then we're gonna right click again and put a scaling block. Okay, we're gonna put our scaling block there. Now just we're gonna have two sections here. This section is gonna be our scaling tank level. This section will be doing the scaling. Okay, now the output of the real number is gonna fit into the scaling block, and the scaling block is gonna go through the para. You can see para, I can simply put it, it's what we mentioned here, raw data being scaled into what we can understand. So a PLC understanding into a human understanding form. Right. As you can see, this would be our raw minimum and our raw maximum. This would be our scale, our output min and output max. Let's simply put there, and then let's go back, and then we're gonna have a scaled PV here as our output, and then we're gonna have our tank as our input, and then in this section we're gonna have what you call valve control. Logic, and put it like that. And then now remember, we're using these levels to control, to open and close this valve. Right, to close, nothing tricky. When we reach 80%, we're closing. Right, then we're gonna put greater or equal to. So when the level is more or equals to 80, isn't it? If the level, which is scale PV, is more or equal to 80, isn't it? That's our set point. We're gonna give it 80%. Then we're gonna close the valve. We're gonna close the valve. That's what we said. That's the agreement here. At 80% we're gonna close. So even if we reach 80 or more, we're gonna close the valve. Now the opening part would be tricky because remember we need to open and hold until we reach the 80%. Alright, now so we can be in an agreement. So we're gonna use LE, which is less or equal to. Let's put it there. And then we're gonna also have to use so less or equal to at 80, right? If the tank is less. Okay, let's just copy this one again, copy paste, and put it there. Now this is for holding, this is for the main operation, right? Now and then let's delay that. Let's use a delay on timer. So now here we're gonna have the scale PV, and then it is less or equal to 80. Right, and then here we're still gonna have that scaled PV, but now we're dealing with it when it's at 20, and then just delay this one when it's at 20, and then right. Now if we're at 20, if we are less or equal to 20, we want to start, right? There we're in agreement. But as well, we need to hold that starting. This will help us to hold that, right? And then let's use an end for some instruction there. So in this end gate, what we're gonna say is, as long as we are less than 80, right? As long as we are less than 80, the valve is not closed, right? So we're gonna put a note there, the valve is not closed. We are less than 80, the valve is not closed, and we did get a command to open. There was a command to open, right? Then we can hold, isn't it? Thank you. So meaning we're gonna have two decisions to make. So either or of this. So we're gonna put an OR gate in between these two. So the OR gate will be between these two. And then open. Well, let's just put down some time there. T, maybe let's just put 2 seconds. Okay, don't want too much time there. So let's build this and see. Good. And everything is fine, no errors. Connect to the PLC and transfer this into the PLC and run after. Okay, so we're gonna have to do some operator screen for us to be able to indeed see some of the things like inputting the let's just do this and do and initialize animation table there, and then let's set our remember our values. What were our values? And our raw max is going to be at 10,000 and our output max at 10, and then we modify. Here we're going to have 100 for percentage, and then here we say 10,000, and then here we're going to have 100. Enter, and if you can check now, would be fine in terms of the scaling. Well, because now we are less than 20%, the valve is open automatically because we are left. We will have to start filling. But now to do the real animation of this, let's open a new screen here so that we can do a simulation of this integer. For us to simulate this integer, okay, we're gonna just add a bit there and add control element. We're gonna put a scale indicator there, which we're gonna put it as our level input, and then we're gonna play around, put the clicks there, click net, and put this as our well closed, and it is high, and good with red in the okay, and let's do another one, and then when the very bit open, green, green, okay. This one is gonna be our integer with our tank, and then it's gonna scale between 10,000, that was our row number, and okay, and let's initialize. Now if we go, you can see we're giving that amount, that's 8.86%, and then 25%. Our valve is still holding, if you can see there, still open. Now we go, we reach 86%, the valve is closed. You can see indicated in red, the valve is closed. The valve is still closed until we reach less than 20% for it to open. The valve has opened, and then the valve is holding at 80, stops filling. And then as we drop, we'd have to reach the 20 mark or less than 20 in order for us to open. That would be all for our lesson today. Let me thank you, and please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.